What's up, you guys? Back again with another video. Today's video, man, I gotta rant about something, bro. Like this is pissing me off a little bit, and I want to rant about it. And I have all the numbers to go over, and we're gonna go into depth about why this is a problem. So, without further ado, let's get into the rant. So, in Season 3, they released their very first Prestige camo into Modern Warfare 3. And 150,000 weapon XP per gun at the time seemed toxic, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't undoable, right? And so I, became the first in the world with all 50, I think at the time it was 55 or 56 MW3 guns one-tricked. And the reason I say I was first in the world is I did about 2 days worth of research after making the video and before making the video, and I had seen no posts about anyone who had every single Modern Warfare 3 gun done, and so I had made that video, posted it, and I have not seen any evidence to suggest otherwise. But I was not by any means first in the world for any of the other Prestige camos, specifically other than one trick. So then Season 4 came out, and we got Obsidian. Now, Obsidian was okay. It was 200,000, I think it was at launch. So it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't like a stupidly high increase. When it started to get crazy is Season 5 and 6, with Mercury being 250k and 300k for Constellation's End. And those two have now made the grind almost insane. So, as many people know, I have all the MW3 guns one-tricked, except for a few now, as of this season. As of this season, I'm still missing a couple, I think 3 melees for one trick, the Wensmith that came out recently, and then I'm missing the Spaz for some odd reason. Now, that's 61 guns that I have done out of, 64 guns in the game, I think, total for Modern Warfare 3. I have a few Modern Warfare 3, I have a few Modern Warfare, no, I'm sorry, I have 61 total one tricks, and I think that's counting Modern Warfare 2, so I actually only have 58 or 57 for Modern Warfare 3. I have basically every gun except for the Spaz, and I think it's the Sludge, the other two, one of the other two melees that were new. It's like 3 melees. Anyway, I've decided to come back recently with Constellation's End and grind Constellation's End for most guns. By the way, fun announcement, I do have the new battle rifle, have Constellation's End and the new battle rifle, so that's super fire, and I'm super excited that I got that today. And I hope I have a video showcasing what it looks like in a few days, or hopefully by tomorrow. But I had to sit down and figure out the math, because first off, I had to think if it was plausible to get it before BO6. And obviously, once BO6 drops, I'll be focusing camera gunning over there, and I won't have time to focus on this game. And so, I sat down and did the math, and I was blown away by the amount of XP needed. So for me, right now, currently, I pulled my community app. By the way, shouts out to the community app. Go follow me. I have all the best classes that you'll ever find over there. But as of right now, I have 61 one-trick camos. I have 16 Obsidians and 1 Constellation End. And I have a handful of Mercuries. Usually the same amount of Obsidians is usually the same amount of Mercuries. So when I work on Mercury, I'm usually working on Obsidian for that gun. Now, the reason I have so little of camos to begin with when it comes to Obsidian and Mercury is just because I haven't been grinding them. I've been focusing on just finishing the seasons and then playing other games. But on top of that, is I've took a notice to a weird bug. And that is XP is not tracking properly. There's some games where I'll pull probably 40k, and then there'll be games where I'll pull 5k for the same amount of kills. Now, there's a huge list of reasons why this could be happening. And it's all the game's fault. Every single one. Either A, the weapon XP is either capped in that mode, or B, it's inconsistent, or it's not tracking, or not tracking entirely, or it's not giving double XP if double XP is active, or the gun's is glitched out and it's not tracking camos entirely. I've saw some people who have more Obsidians, more Mercuries than I do, but they are not playing as efficient as I am. which makes no sense. If I'm playing more efficient, I should theoretically be getting the camos faster. I'm not. So let's go into some of the numbers that I've discovered. So first off, we're going to break down what modes give the most. And right now, as it stands, Zombies is the theoretical second best behind multiplayer. But currently, with Double Weapon XP activated, which it is right now for the next, I think, 13 hours, Purgatory Island is the best option. And the reasoning for this is pretty interesting. Because of the amount of fact that it lasts 2 hours, right? If you stay in from the minute the match starts to the minute it ends, which is 2 hours, you're looking around 40 to 50k on average, right? It was pretty hard for me not to get that. So I was jumping from I was able to get, say if I need a one-shot camo, you could get that theoretically in 3 games. Obsidian for 5 games, Mercury 5, 6, 7 games, and then obviously Constellations End would have even higher than that, upwards of 10 games you would have. But the problem is the Purgatory mode is not going to be here very long. That's the problem. So Purgatory really doesn't make the list of best modes because it's not going to be here for very long, and the double XP is not going to be here very long, even a shorter period of time. Multiplayer theoretically is the best when it comes to time plus the amount of XP you're getting, right? On average, matches last 10-15 minutes. You're averaging around 15 to 20k a match. You're able to quickly rotate in and out. Okay. Second best is Zombies, but Zombies is only second best if you have double weapon XP tokens activated, because you get 22k a match, or you get 17k without any double XP activated. And that's for the first 25 minutes. If you do the first 25 minutes, you will be pretty much guaranteed that, right? So as long as you kill zombies or do contracts within that first 25 minutes of the zombie match, you should acquire either 22k with double XP or 17k with no double XP. On paper, that sounds good, because that's more XP on average per match than you're actually getting a multiplayer, especially if you're getting double XP tokens. But the problem is those matches last longer. Those matches require you to go in with gear that you then have to reacquire. You're not just spawning in with your gun. You have to spawn in with perks, or if you want Pack-a-Punch, etc. And this is the problem with the Zombies as a whole. Okay, it's requires a super amount of preparation going forward. The third best mode is Warzone in general. The Warzone mode is probably the best when it comes to if that's the mode you play the most. Anyway, I don't really play Warzone all that much, but when I do play Warzone, I'm usually not using the guns that need to have camos. Usually I'm using the camos I already have unlocked. And so, obviously that mode is subject to kind of fluctuate. And Warzone's always fluctuating. But obviously you get XP per item you loot. So realistically, you can go into a researcher's match and not even kill nobody and still get a good decent amount of XP. But let's go over the numbers that you need for these camos. So for me currently, as I'm sitting here recording this video, I need roughly around 38,250,000 XP, weapon XP. Now remember, this isn't normal XP, this is weapon XP. There's a difference. Normal XP you get from doing everything. You could get assists, you get XP, opening doors, like in Zombies, or, well, this game doesn't have doors, but you know what I'm saying. Getting kills, etc., right? Everything you do that gives XP gives you XP. But weapon XP is very specific. Not everything you do gives you weapon XP. Getting a contract completed, like a daily contract or a weekly contract, for as far as I'm concerned, does not count towards weapon XP, even though it should. I've noticed that my calculations have seen no real large impact whether I do daily or weekly contracts, all right, through the weekly challenge menus. Another thing, things like getting camos seem to not be giving weapon XP. As far as I'm aware, this could just be a glitch on my end, but I'm not seeing a huge boost in XP for if I'm wearing like weapon camos, right? Okay. The things that do give you weapon XP, though, on the other hand, are things like assists, kills, looting. If you're in Zombies or multiplayer and you're looting the chests, those give you weapon XP. If you're in Purgatory right now doing it, go AFK or slightly AFK in the safe zone with somebody else. You guys can spam commend each other. You get 40 XP for being commended. You get 20 XP for commending someone else. So each of you can get, on average, around 60 XP every commend. Okay? And so you can get a shit ton of XP that way as well, and that counts to weapon XP. So, and multiplayer, obviously, if you capture an objective while using that gun, you get XP. If you plant the bomb, defuse a bomb, etc., depending on the mode. So, that's obviously important. But what about if that 38 million that I need is, by the way, only for Modern Warfare 3 guns. That's only for Obsidian, Mercury, and Constellation's End. Okay, I'm not counting one tricks that I missed because I'm not going to go back and do one tricks. I'm just going to focus on the Obsidians, Mercuries, and Constellation's Ends, the ones that require the most. And so let's kind of go over the amount of camos, amount of XP you need for all 137 guns in the game. According to our good old community app, we can see that we have 137 guns in the game because I have 61 one tricks out of 137. So what that means is I have about half of the one tricks you're capable of earning in the game, which is pretty normal for me because I haven't been using the Modern Warfare 2 guns all that much, other than like a handful. So we have 137 guns in the game. We times that from the individual categories. So we times 137 times the one trick requirement. Do the same for Obsidian. 137 times the Mercury. 137 times the Constellation's Ends. And we add all those numbers together, we get 123,300,000 weapon XP. Okay, 137 million weapon XP. That is an insane amount of weapon XP. For reference, right, getting to level 1000 in, for example, World War II required around 20 million XP. Regular XP. Right around 20 million. Give or take some, depending on how well you played the game or whatever, right? Which is insane when you almost triple that. Actually, might even quadruple. I'm horrible at math, so don't mind me. But I'm pretty sure I might even be quadruple that in weapon XP. This is an ungodly amount of weapon XP. We're not talking about a couple million. We're not even talking about 20 million. We're talking in the 123 million. That is a quarter of the United States population in just weapon XP. That is insane. And mind you, each camo has to be done separate. You cannot do all 4 camos simultaneously. So what I mean by that is you get the 150,000, you can't work on the 200,000 or the 300,000 or the 250,000. You can't work on the same time, right? You're not doing one grind at a time. You're doing 4 separate grinds per gun for all 137 guns in the game. Now, mind you, if you are just doing the base guns of Modern Warfare 3, you're still looking at around 50. I think it's 57 million. Is the last was what I registered, if I remember correctly. So just, give or take some change, maybe like 50 something million. I think. Let me look back at my records. Yeah, it's about 57 million. So even so, 57, 60, even 60 million, right, for all the NW3 guns. Is an insane amount of XP, right? Obviously, if you do all the one tricks, you're knocking a good 20 million XP out, right? Because that's a lot of XP. Those 150k XPs kind of add up over time. And so the rant of this video, really, and what I'm trying to get at, is the unrealistically large amount of XP you need to acquire camos that will not transfer over and that you will never, ever need. Am I still going to grind it? Yeah. But I just want to point this out to anyone that's interested in grinding this camo grind or doing this grind to get all the prestige camos and all the NW3 guns. Be aware of this. You will have to get millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of XP. This is not something. If your friend says he has all the guns done already, or if he says he has like 7 of these Constellation's Ends camos done, he is lying to you. That's the truth. Like XP, physically wise, you would not be able to earn multiple Constellation's Ends camos by now. Okay, I've been seeing people out here with 1 or 2, and that is pushing it. Because you have to be so efficient. You have to be constantly objectives, getting 70, 60, 70, 80, 90 kills up. You have to be on average doing challenges, completing challenges constantly, or playing non-stop, never sleeping. And it just doesn't add up. And so that comes back to the question, is it even possible to get these all done by BO6? I don't think so, but maybe. Because see, if you do the math and you do the average XP per day. So if you're really being efficient, being as absolutely efficient, and you can average about 1.1 to 1.5 million XP a day, which is about 2 guns, maybe 3. That's for either Obsidian or for Mercury or for Constellation End. If you do all the 3 camos in one day, like Obsidian, Mercury, and Constellation End in one day for the same gun, you're looking at maybe 1 or 2 guns at the most a day. If you do that, you can average all these guns done in roughly 28 days, 29 days. So maybe it is a plausible thing, right, to acquire this. So anyway, I'm just saying fuck Activision for this. This is a terrible way to grind camo. I think 150k, even 200k was fine. I don't think it should have been any higher than that for the last 2 camos. The last 2 camos should have stayed the same price. Because again, this is a grind where you need so much weapon XP for so many guns that I feel like they would have just let people grind all 4 camos at the same time for every gun. So like the M4, for example, you can grind the M4 right now, and you can go start off at 1 trick, grind 1 trick, and as you're grinding 1 trick, you're also get XP's also counting for the other 3 camos, and have it like that for every gun would have not have made a huge difference in time, but would have made the grind a lot less triggering as a whole, right? Because you would have cut basically all the XP rates down in half. So instead, if you did 1 XP grind, so as you're grinding 150, say you have 150k, right? And as you're grinding the gun, you get that 150k. When you hit that 150k XP mark, you then hit the 150k XP mark at the 200,000 camo, okay? And again, that process continues. So when you hit the 200k mark, you unlock Obsidian. You're now at 200,000 out of the 250,000 for Mercury, right? That's how it should have worked in theory. That would have cut your XP cost down in half, because now you don't need to, you cancel out having to do that 150k, then doing an additional 200k, and an additional 250k, and an additional 300k. That would have cut that whole grind out, because it would have been one solid grind. And it would have made more sense, theoretically, on paper, and honestly, probably in person, it would have made more sense to have it like that. So, I put way too much thought in this. All I'm saying is that this XP per match thing is fucked, because not only is there a cutoff in zombies, so you can only hit 22k, as far as I'm aware of, you can only hit 22k, okay? I don't think you can get any more. I could be wrong, and I've watched a couple videos, and they've all said the same thing. There's a cutoff in zombies, so you can only hit 22k XP. After that, it either stalemates or it doesn't give you anything. First off, get rid of that, because your matches in zombies are only 45 minutes, so you don't need a cutoff, right? Even if you let me play the 45 minutes out and get as much weapon XP as I can get, I'm only going to be getting around 40, 50k, which is what I'm getting in Purgatory right now anyway. So it just makes much sense. And it would still require me to spend hours in zombies, right? Your zombies is already boring. So you would have me playing your boring-ass zombies for hours, because just to get 1 Constellation's End camo, I'd have to play zombies from morning to night, non-stop, no breaks in between. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm thinking this too hard, but I have done more math on this grind than I think I did in high school. I have broken down so many numbers in this grind, and it is toxic every single which way you look at it. But this is just my opinion on it. Do you guys have methods that you guys have been feeling getting camos faster, Prestige camos faster? Because I've done a small portion of the grind for Prestige camos every season. So I did a small grind for Mercury's when it first came out, for Obsidian, and now I'm on my grind for getting a bunch of these. I want to get at least some of these Constellation camos done before BO6, as many as I can. And so every season I'm kind of looking for new methods. And right now, Season 6 is really having not a whole lot of methods other than Purgatory. But again, Purgatory only really works well with double XP, and double XP is going away. And that now comes into the thing where if you want to waste double XP tokens for a camo that doesn't carry over to BO6. And so we're kind of in this weird spot right now with that. But that's just my opinion on it. Let me know down below if you think of anything different. If you guys have found ways to earn XP crazy fast down below, let me know. I've heard some people say that apparently COD Mobile, maybe you get like double XP. Feels like over there, like you get camos like 3 times as fast. So maybe there's a glitch over there that I don't know about. But man, 123 million XP is toxic.